This movie starts with a night party that takes place on the beach. The cameraman records everything on his phone and shows us young people dancing, having fun and having a good time. Music is playing from a car, and a guy named Mitch asks everyone present to hide all the phones in a bag, because no one is supposed to film it, much less put it on the internet. Soon two guys named Vance and Gilbert bring in a huge ball of incomprehensible slime they found in the water. Everyone present is disgusted by it, but no one thinks much of it, and the party goes on. Here we are shown early morning, and all the young people are still fast asleep. We are shown a girl named Kelly lying with Mitch, and John with a girl named Kenda. We also see Ronnie and Vance sleeping in the car, as well as Gilbert in a barrel, and Marcia lying on a beach table. Kelly wakes up first, and looks around. Suddenly the girl notices a seagull on the sand, trying to fly up, but unable to do so. Kelly thought the bird was sick, but suddenly something pulls the bird into the sand. The girl is shocked by what she sees, and tries to shout to her sleeping friends not to step on the sand. However, when Kelly turns to the side, she sees her friend Marcia, who was sunbathing and decided to step on the sand. However, Marcia's foot got stuck in the sand and the girl could no longer move. Everyone is confused and doesn't understand what's going on here, and the girl starts screaming. Vance decides to save Marcia, and rushes off to help, and Ronnie tries to stop his friend, but the guy doesn't listen. Vance falls to the sand, never making it to his friend who is in trouble. As a result, Vance, as well as the girl, begins to be sucked into the sand. By this time Marcia is no longer visible at all, as the sand has completely hidden her body. Everyone is shocked and crying, and Vance is lying on the sand and writhing in pain. The guy asks his girlfriend to help him, and then he tries to lift his head, but he can't, for the sand is pulling his skin into itself. Ronnie screams in horror, but it is too late, for Vance disappears into the thick of the ominous sand. The survivors are trying to figure out what the cause of this incident is and what is even going on. Our heroes are trying to figure out what to do next, and they want to call the emergency services, but they remember that their phones are in the trunk of the car. John tries to start the car, but the battery is dead after a night of partying. They realize they are stuck on this beach. At this time, Kelly walks to the edge of the steps and reaches out to the sand. We watch as strange transparent hairs reach for the flesh. Soon another of the guys, Gilbert, wakes up. The guy wakes up in a garbage barrel and struggles to get out of it. However, his friends in time begin to ask him to by no means move, and explain it by the death of their comrades in the sand. Some time passes, and the guys left in the car fall asleep. Meanwhile, Kelly and Mitch find a bottle of gin and decide to drink it to calm down. Some more time passes, but no one comes to the rescue. Kelly finds some sunscreen and tosses it to the girl in the car. Poor Gilbert is still in the barrel and is already very tired. Kelly starts discussing what happened again and coming up with theories as to how this happened. They look around and realize that everyone who was at the party last night and fell asleep on the sand has also been eaten by that horrible sand. Kelly remembers that Vance and Gilbert pulled a slimy egg out of the water yesterday and points everyone to its remains in the distance. The girl is sure that something was born from that egg overnight, and it's likely that the creature settled in the sand. The boys think that the sand is the habitat of this creature, and it feeds on humans as a regular food. The girl assumes that this creature only hatched at night and therefore it is still quite small in size, and so Kelly has an ingenious plan. The girl wants to test how big this creature living in the sand is. She takes some sausages and starts throwing them all over the beach. Everyone watches as the colorless hairs devour the sausages. At this time Gilbert, who is still in the barrel, observes not the most pleasant picture, as another bird is sucked into the sand. Now the guy finally realizes what his friends have been telling him about. Everyone continues to watch as Kelly scatters sausages all over the beach, and John remarks that this may be the only food they have left. Suddenly, our group sees the last sausage left on the surface of the sand. Everyone rejoices and hopes that they have found salvation, but everything is spoiled by the fact that this safe place is too far away and they don't know how to get there. Then John climbs to the back of the car and picks up 2 surfboards that someone left here yesterday. The man tries to make a path out of these boards and so get to safety. John manages to cross the boards several times. Soon the man reaches a bench and puts one foot on it, but at that moment the board begins to slide on the sand. John falls, rests his hands on the bench, and stretches out over the sand. Suddenly, horrible tentacles emerge from the sand and climb up to the victim's stomach. The man manages to escape and climb onto the table, but now his stomach is covered in wounds. John finds a bag of food near the table and accidentally drops a banana on the ground. The banana doesn't disappear, however, and the man notices that nothing is happening where the campfire was yesterday. John jumps to the place where the bonfire was, but suddenly he begins to feel terrible and sores appear on his stomach. The friends ask the man to go back to the table. John throws the water bottles he found in his bag to his friends, but the sores on his stomach start to burst and he lies down on the table. Meanwhile, the creature pulls surfboards and then decides to eat a car afterward. Kelly shows how the transparent tentacles bite the wheels of the car. The girls realize that the situation is heating up and they have little time to escape. Ronnie tries to open the trunk of the car to get the phone and call the rescuers. Kanda hands over the car keys, and Ronnie decides to say goodbye to Kanda and asks her to give a message to her mother if she doesn't come back. The girl ends up climbing on the trunk, gets on the edge of the bumper, and does open the trunk with the help of her friends. At this moment, a car is driving along the beach, and its driver starts honking from afar, which greatly frightens the girl standing on the bumper. Suddenly Ronnie's foot slips, and the girl clutches her hand in the trunk. The girl screams in pain and the rest of the friends try to get the attention of the driver of the car. It turns out to be a Coast Guard officer, and the man thinks the guys are drunk, and doesn't take their words seriously. Kelly yells for the guard to stay in the car, but the man gets out. To the surprise of the survivors, the man steps freely on the sand, and we see that his service boots are immune to the creature's bite. The man looks at John, who is squirming in pain on the table, but ignores the guy's pleas for help and moves on. The guard examines Gilbert, still sitting in the barrel, then approaches the girl sitting on the trunk of the car. Kelly insults the man, then the officer threatens the guys with his pepper spray, wants them to come over to him and stand on the sand, but they all refuse. While taking pepper spray out of his holster, the security guard drops his car keys on the ground. The man tries to pick up the keys, but suddenly realizes that the girl wasn't lying to him, and now he is immobilized. Kelly advises the man to use pepper spray against the creature and it works, only the man loses part of his arm. Due to the shock, the guard falls to the ground and Kelly takes the pepper spray from him. Mitch then realizes that shoes can save him from the creature and is going to get to the guard's car wearing flip-flops and wrapping a towel around his feet. The girls throw the towel to Mitch from the car, but while trying to catch it the guy stumbles and falls into the sand. The creature bloodily eats the guy. Later, Kelly can't stand it and jumps from the ladder onto the car and the girl succeeds. The girls decide to help Ronnie get his arm out of the trunk. All the while, Gilbert is still sitting in the barrel and the creature starts to sense him. The girls come up with a plan to make a bridge out of the destroyed stairs to save the rest of their friends and get to the guard's car. The girls start walking along the ruined railing and soon the two of them reach John, who is still in very bad shape. Ronnie goes to the table last, but because of her injured arm, the girl lost her balance and fell into the sand. Though the girls tried to save their friend, but the creature pulls Ronnie into the depths of the sand. Kanda wraps her legs in a towel and a bag and runs to the car. The girl successfully climbs onto the hood and is not injured. Gilbert is very happy about this event, and apparently for nothing, because of his movements the creature begins to take an interest in his barrel. The monster breaks through the barrel and begins to devour him from below, and then several huge tentacles climb out of the barrel and suck the man into the sand. Soon these same tentacles come out near the car and start rocking it, and Kanda falls on the hood and passes out. Night falls, Kanda is lying on the car, and Kelly and John are on the table. Kanda regains consciousness and finds an inflatable raft in the car. With its help, the girl decides to rescue her friends. Soon Kelly and John move into the raft, and they climb into the car. But with a sudden earthquake, Kelly falls on the raft and huge tentacles appear in front of her eyes. The girl manages to jump on the roof of the car. Kelly finds a canister of fuel there and sets the monster on fire. The girl quickly climbs into the car, but the creature tries to open the door. The girl manages to lock herself in the car, and they sit in silence. The girls soon realize that John is dead, and afterwards they hug and mourn their dead friends. Tired and scared, they fall asleep in the car. The next morning they wake up to some man banging on their window. Kelly and Candy realize that the monster is gone and they can step onto the sand in peace. The girls walk down the beach hugging each other and can't believe what has happened to them. In the final frames of the movie, we are shown a huge monster swimming underwater near a pier filled with people. This is the end of the movie. Thank you all for watching this video to the end. Give this video a like. Write in the comments what you think about this movie, and see you in new videos.